In studio right now, Aaron Dykes and Alex Jones via the microphone. There he is. If you go to the document cam, you can see him right there. And we're just discussing, the harassment that we received in both D.C. and Philadelphia. I don't think
anybody uses an electro voice as a handheld.
Is that what that is? I'm not hip to the lingo. I'm a new radio guy. So go ahead, Alex.
Now, I'm just out here trying to write for the Obama film I'm working on. We got to get around to the website and the announcement of the name, but not yet. I'm going to do that next week. Just been distracted by the Secret Service and FBI around here dropping by. But look, this is how tyranny works. They train you to be slaves. They train you to accept by increments more and more of their oppression and control. It's like dog training. And
let me give you an example. Because we're in the airport today, and on the big screens. First of all, we rush through the airport, and then they don't even have the place where they ID you and let you go through the security open yet. We have to get into another line. While we're in the line, they're showing you why it's so dangerous to bring liquids on the planes. But 3 ounces of scientists have confirmed that if it's only 3 ounces, you can't make explosives.
It's all about a religion that the terror is real, that they're not staging it, but taking the shoes off, answering the questions. It's training people who'd never be in a police state situation, who aren't criminals, to live with the police. I mean, in England, everyone gets questioned now everywhere, and it's all non-terror related. Mm-hmm. So they start with terror, then they expand it out like the DHS report to gun owners, conservatives, everybody, and then guilt by association. But the reason I came back in here is I just want to make the point. Today, it's telling you can't videotape the Washington Monument or the Lincoln Memorial. Tomorrow, it's you can't film the police out your own window, which is already happening. They're already arresting people they see taping them from the side of the street from their own yards. They're out of control. They're arrogant. They're the servants telling us that they are now the master. And they're being encouraged by the higher up to break the back of the American people because the ruling elite, the bankers know they're destroying our standard of living, really going to cause a huge revolt. They want to have their devil dogs, their enforcers, trained and loving the smell and taste of our blood. So they're like bird dogs, training them to go after quail or dove. We're the quail or dove. They're the bird dog. We're being trained, the public, to accept the tyranny. They're being trained that it's okay for them to treat us like this. And in the final equation, these guys are on power trips. They can't wait with the new environmental green laws, which they admit, to come in your house and fine and fee and take your house. They are criminals. Mm-hmm. They hate the public. They're scum. They're hiring bullies and thugs. They're hiring low-grade morons who would not make it in the world, who would not be successful, who are so petty that all they want to do is suppress and dominate society. Mm-hmm. And so that's why we're here. That's why we're fighting what we're fighting. We know how humans develop. We know how societies arrange themselves. We know the cycle of going into tyranny. We've seen this thousands of times. We know 110% what this is. We fully understand what's happening. And it's the most horrible thing anybody can imagine because it's all the ancient tyrannies scientifically studied mixed with modern high-tech systems creating this mutation or this amalgam, this sword of doom against liberty. Mm-hmm. And if the people will rally and if the spirit of liberty will ignite, we can defeat these people. But folks need to know the enemy is coming in like a flood. And
the enemy's often your neighbor, too. It's your uncle. It's your aunt. It's somebody working for the system. It's somebody who you relate to.
Yeah, because they see themselves as part of the system, so they're criminally defending the system and violating the Bill of Rights and Constitution in kind of a weird pack mentality, like a Nazi or Soviet mentality.
Yeah, you can't smile when you take your license picture.
Well, I mean, here's an example. The military was practicing internment roundups in Florida in 1999, Brooksville, Florida. And now it's mainstream news that they're setting up camps and doing internment training. Now the Army admits it, but back then you got laughed at. This is what happened. I get on an airplane, don't tell anybody I'm going to Brooksville, and a federal-type informant who had been in Austin following me around and coming to events, who was probably Pentagon, protective detail, or special forces type. I mean, you learn the types over the years. I didn't know who he was at the time. Shows up, knows my flight, and is there to give us a ride. And then magically the rental car place wouldn't give us our car. And then I'm out with this guy, and we're just trying to videotape the military at night. He starts trying to set fires, and I'm having to put him out, saying, stop trying to provocateur and set me up. I mean, and I had to push him away, and I had to drive over to the military and say, I know this guy's with you, stop it. And they're like, oh, it's just all part of the drill, Jones. So, I mean, these people, I was already seen as an al-Qaeda enemy before they'd already staged the attacks. I was already to be set up. I was already meant nothing. They'd line me up and boom, blow my head off that quickly. They'd send me to prison for something immediately. And so now everywhere I go, these feds come and sit down in restaurants next to me and say, let's blow stuff up, let's attack. And it's always some giant cop. And I'm like, leave me alone. I mean, they're circling all around us now trying to do this. We're not committing any crimes like they are. And the whole point is it's predatory. They're criminal. They like it that America's falling. They like it. They think they're the winners. They think it's great. They get to urinate all over freedom, urinate all over the country. They get to do whatever they want. But when I was there in Brooksville, Florida, when I was there and all of this stuff was going on, and, you know, I would just be walking around the town trying to videotape the military. So we're practicing taking over the city. The citizens would walk out and go, are you Alex Jones? The Army came to my door and told me not to talk to you. And then again, they just attached some guy, oh, I'm a patriot, a friend, like we were doing something secret and bad. And we're walking through a field, and he's like, oh, here, let's light something on fire. And I'm like, no, you're a Fed. Get out of here. I mean, these people aren't playing games, man. And I'd be in prison for setting arson fires. They're not playing games. I want everybody to know, if anything like that happens, it's the Feds. They did it.
All right, Mr. Jones, thank you so much for joining us. Dyke.
That's the real world. They're criminals. They want to come in your house and take your family. They want your property. All they know is primitive domination. That they're going to dominate you with a nightstick. They're thugs. It's tyranny. It's real. They're going to take everything you got if you don't get up off your asses.
Any closing thoughts, Aaron, on the trip, on the way that we were treated by the guards?
Yeah, I mean, take the TSA in the airport. A year ago, it was just the regular screening, you know, the halfway strip search, take off your shoes, your belt, everything out of your pockets. Now they have the secondary screening.
I just noticed that.
At the gates. That's been there just in the past couple months. And they don't check everybody, but it's selective screening. And really, it's mostly
I'm telling
old ladies
you,
or
folks, they
persons.
want to line your families up and shoot them. I've been around them. They enjoy it. That's the point. They enjoy what they're doing. Criminals.
So, yeah, I mean, this was, again...
I want those criminals to know they're not getting away with any of it. They're getting the cancer viruses in their shots. They're drinking the sodium fluoride. You guys go ahead and go along with the evil. Just remember, your own masters are taking you out, too.
Valid point.
Bastards.
Valid point.
They think evil's cute. It's not cute.
It's absolutely not cute. But yeah, I noticed these just from you pointing them out because I hadn't seen them. They're on like a little cart now where they take your stuff out on a cart. Like you've already gone through the initial screening. They're already
and showed them everything in the bag, everything you have.
Yeah, you've already taken out your laptop. You've already, taken out your DVD player. The camera's on the thing. Your shoes are off. I have my hooded sweatshirt off.
Yeah, what is this that I'm seeing now where they follow you once you leave?
Yeah.
It's like you're total prisoners in a medium security prison.
Well, now they have behavior specialists now. That was part of the video, that they have people watching people's behavior.
And again, they're beta testing them for the rest of the country. They're saying everywhere it's little secret police, little $9 an hour security guards on power trips. little security guards on $9 an hour on power trips.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I saw that when I was out in L.A., that there were TSA following people and talking.
Yeah, I had no idea until he pointed out.
No, and then now they're expanding TSA to Boston, New York, Houston. Now they're on the streets. It's everywhere. Hi, I'm TSA. Let's ask you questions. Here are your family. And I see them with little kids at the airport asking a 3-year-old, what are you doing? Where are you going? It's all about you're all terrorists now. We're the criminals that rule you now. See, I mean, I'm just a normal, primitive person, man. I know when crooks are all around me, and I see when predators, just like a dog knows when somebody's predatory or moving in and it barks. I see the predators all around us. I see them setting it up, and I'm like, look at this, people. We got to do something about this. They're like, I like the movies. I like the football. And so they're building grids all around us. And I'm like, look out. The wolves, the hyenas, they're all around us. Circle the wagons. Let's defend the republic. Don't let them do this. They're like, I like the tyranny. I like the shots.
Well, we had a couple of elderly women behind us, and we were talking about...
they love having their way with old people.
Well,
that's a special slave to enjoy.
Well, they were discussing the cameras that basically take an X-ray picture of you in the thing, and they're like, those are in which airports now? I'm like, they're all over the place. And then I was like, they're in the New York City subway system now. It's beyond the airports.
Yeah, but they're not buying it. They're back there behind us. They're ridiculing.
We got to get our soul back and get mad. This crap's bull. They're training us to live in Nazi Soviet. Russia. I'm sick of it.
They are, Alex. They have new propaganda where travelers are broken into 3 classes. You're either the family kind of traveler who has too much bags.
Their training is all mass profiling.
Or you're the expert traveler.
It's the yellow star.
Yeah, the expert traveler.
Pieces of crap.
The expert traveler.
Social engineer eugenicists. Look at this book right here with these bastards, head of the White House science, talks about how he's sterilizing you in your water, how they're injecting you. It's all real funny. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, they psychologically profile you now that if you are an expert traveler, you're going to know all their rules, the proper way to walk through their slave grid. You're going to know how to watch the videos, know how many bags to carry. Otherwise, you have too many bags.
I told you how it was creeping me out, how I felt like I was in the movie Total Recall this morning when we were going through. Because the woman who's playing the TSA agent, she never worked for the TSA. She's an actress.